Ladies and gentlemen, today we delve into a topic that resonates deeply with the heart of relationships. Why do so many women lose good men? The answer often lies not in the faults of the men, but in the hidden struggles within ourselves. Struggles rooted in negative feelings, unspoken fears, and unresolved hurts. Words are incredibly powerful. They have the capacity to shape our relationships, for better or for worse. In many ways, the words we choose act as seeds, and the tone with which we speak them determines the soil they fall into. The fruits of those seeds, whether they are nourishing or poisonous, manifest in our daily interactions, especially in our closest relationships. This truth cannot be ignored when we consider why some women lose good men despite their desire for connection and companionship. A single word, spoken out of frustration or anger, can cut deeper than we realize. It may linger in the mind and heart of the one who hears it long after the moment has passed. Conversely, a word of encouragement, spoken with sincerity, can uplift and inspire, creating a bond of trust and admiration. A good man, a man who seeks to build a life of love, respect, and unity, values words not only for their meaning, but for the intentions behind them. When communication is filled with criticism, sarcasm, or bitterness, it erodes the foundation of the relationship. Negative speech often stems from unprocessed emotions. When a woman feels unheard, unappreciated, or insecure, it can manifest in her words. She may unintentionally lash out, express doubt, or use words to control or manipulate the situation. While these reactions might be rooted in pain or fear, they can push a good man away. A man who wants to build a healthy relationship thrives in an environment where he feels respected and valued. If he constantly hears words that demean or belittle, even in subtle ways, it becomes challenging for him to remain emotionally invested. On the other hand, it's equally important to consider the absence of words. Silence can be just as damaging as harsh speech. Withholding words of appreciation, affection, or affirmation can leave a man feeling undervalued or disconnected. A good man doesn't need grand gestures. Often, simple expressions of gratitude or acknowledgement of his efforts are enough to strengthen his resolve to nurture the relationship. The beauty of words lies in their ability to heal as much as they can harm. A woman who seeks to overcome the negative cycle of speech must first become aware of her patterns. Are her words uplifting or destructive? Does she speak life into her relationship, or does she unintentionally sow seeds of doubt and discord? This level of self-awareness requires humility and courage. Once these patterns are recognized, change becomes possible. The first step is to align speech with intention. If love is the foundation of the relationship, words must reflect that love. Compliments, expressions of gratitude, and kind affirmation should become a daily habit. These are not superficial efforts. They communicate respect and admiration, two qualities that every good man cherishes deeply. Another step is to practice restraint in moments of anger or frustration. It's easy to speak harshly when emotions run high, but words spoken in haste can inflict lasting wounds. Instead, pausing to reflect before speaking can prevent unnecessary hurt. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather channeling them constructively. Sharing feelings honestly, without blame or accusation, fosters understanding and connection. Prayer and reflection can also play a significant role in transforming the way we speak. Asking for divine guidance to soften the heart and guard the tongue can bring clarity and peace even in the most challenging situations. It is through this spiritual discipline that women can learn to speak words that build up rather than tear down. This is where the power of the speaking lies, is their strength. The mystery of the voice is where their integrity. Ultimately, the power of words lies in their ability to create an atmosphere where love can grow. When a man hears words that affirm his efforts, express gratitude, or reflect admiration, he feels encouraged to give his best to the relationship. On the contrary, when words consistently criticize, demean, or neglect his value, even the strongest man may retreat. Los fieles et elientes elbios. Great man else. In recognizing the power of words, women can take a step toward transforming their relationships. It begins with a choice to speak life, to build rather than destroy, and to use words as tools of healing and connection. When this shift occurs, it not only strengthens the relationship but also allows both partners to flourish together. Words, when used wisely, can be the foundation for a love that lasts. Bitterness is a silent thief, stealing joy, peace, and connection from our lives without us even realizing it. When left unchecked, it takes root deep within the heart, growing into a barrier that isolates us from the people we love and the relationships we long to nurture. For women who desire strong and lasting connections, especially with a good man, guarding the heart against bitterness is not just an option, it is a necessity. Bitterness often begins as a small seed, planted by an unresolved hurt or a perceived injustice. It could be a careless remark, a disappointing action, or even an unmet expectation. While the initial wound might seem minor, the failure to address it can cause that pain to fester. Over time, the heart becomes hardened, and the bitterness grows, manifesting in behaviors and attitudes that strain relationships. When bitterness takes hold, it alters how we see others and ourselves. It clouds judgment and makes it difficult to trust or believe in the goodness of those around us. In the context of a relationship, bitterness can lead to constant criticism, suspicion, or emotional distance. A good man, no matter how patient or loving, can struggle to navigate the walls built by bitterness. He may feel as though he is constantly walking on eggshells, unsure of how to break through or make things right. The danger of bitterness is that it often operates subtly. Many women who harbor bitterness are not even aware of its presence. It can disguise itself as self-protection, a sense of justice, or even a desire to avoid further pain. But in truth, bitterness is a weight that burdens the heart and prevents it from fully engaging in love and connection. It robs us of the ability to see the good in others and to extend the grace and forgiveness that healthy relationships require. Guarding the heart against bitterness begins with recognition. It requires honest self-reflection and a willingness to confront the pain or disappointment that may have taken root. This process is not easy. It often requires peeling back layers of emotions and revisiting moments that were hurtful or unsettling. However, it is only by acknowledging the presence of bitterness that we can begin to address it. The next step is forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about excusing wrongdoing or pretending that hurtful actions did not occur. Instead, it is about releasing the hold those actions have on our hearts. Forgiveness frees us from the chains of resentment and allows us to move forward without carrying the weight of past pain. It is a gift we give ourselves as much as it is a choice to extend grace to others. Last, forgiveness is often a process, not a one-time event. There may be moments when the feelings of hurt resurface, tempting us to revisit bitterness. In these moments, it is important to remind ourselves of the decision to forgive and to choose peace over resentment. Prayer, meditation, or journaling can be powerful tools to reinforce this choice and to seek strength from a higher power. Replacing bitterness with gratitude is another key to guarding the heart. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack or have lost to what we have. It allows us to see the blessings in our relationships and to appreciate the efforts and intentions of those we care about. A heart that practices gratitude leaves little room for bitterness to thrive. Finally, surrounding ourselves with positive influences and a supportive community can help us guard against bitterness. Friends or mentors who encourage honesty, kindness, and growth can provide perspective and accountability. They can help us stay grounded and remind us of the importance of maintaining an open and loving heart. Bitterness may try to take hold, but it does not have to define us or our relationships. By choosing awareness, forgiveness, gratitude, and support, we can protect our hearts and create an environment where love and connection can flourish. A guarded heart is not a closed heart. It is a heart that chooses to remain soft and open even in the face of life's challenges. When we release bitterness, we make room for joy, healing, and the deep, meaningful relationships we were created for. Respect is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. It is the foundation upon which trust, understanding, and love are built. Without it, even the strongest connections can falter. In the context of a romantic relationship, particularly with a good man who desires a partnership rooted in mutual care and honor, respect is not simply a courtesy, it is a necessity. Debates on trust extend beyond boundaries. There is every reason to devote some space to formulating this, and it requires energy. Respect begins with recognizing the inherent value and dignity of the other person. It means seeing them not merely for what they do or provide, but for who they are at their core. A good man thrives in an environment where he feels seen, heard, and appreciated. When respect is absent, it can create a sense of inadequacy or worthlessness, leading him to question his place in the relationship. One of the most common ways disrespect manifests is through communication. Dismissive tones, cutting remarks, or speaking over someone can subtly erode their sense of value. For women, it is vital to be mindful of how words and actions convey respect or lack thereof. Even in moments of frustration or disagreement, choosing to address issues with kindness and consideration can preserve the integrity of the relationship. Disrespect can also appear in how we view or treat a partner's efforts and contributions. A good man often expresses his love through actions, whether it's providing, protecting, or supporting. When these efforts are taken for granted or met with criticism, it can leave him feeling unappreciated. While it's natural to have expectations in a relationship, it's equally important to acknowledge and affirm the good that is being done, rather than focusing solely on what may be lacking. Respect is also closely tied to how we view differences. No two people are alike, and in any relationship there will be moments of disagreement or divergence in perspective. A respectful woman understands that differing opinions or approaches do not diminish the value of her partner. Instead of insisting on her own way or dismissing his viewpoint, she seeks to understand and appreciate his perspective. This not only fosters mutual respect, but also strengthens the bond between partners. Another critical aspect of respect is trust. Trusting a good man's intentions, decisions, and ability to lead in certain areas of the relationship is a profound way to show respect. This does not mean blind agreement or the absence of discussion, but rather a willingness to collaborate and support each other's roles and strengths. A man who feels trusted is more likely to rise to the occasion and give his best to the partnership. Respect is not limited to how we treat our partner in private. It extends to how we speak about and treat them in public. Speaking negatively about a partner to others, even in jest, can be deeply damaging. A good man wants to know that his partner has his back, both in private and in the presence of others. Publicly affirming and honoring him, on the other hand, strengthens his confidence and deepens his commitment to the relationship. Self-respect is also a crucial component of recognizing and giving respect. A woman who values herself and sets healthy boundaries demonstrates to her partner that she understands her worth. This, in turn, encourages mutual respect. When both partners respect themselves and each other, the relationship becomes a balanced, supportive partnership where each person feels valued. Ultimately, respect is a daily choice. It is reflected in words, actions, and attitudes. It involves humility, recognizing that neither partner is perfect and that mistakes will happen. It requires patience, as respect often involves putting aside immediate emotions to focus on the bigger picture of the relationship. It demands consistency, as respect cannot be conditional or occasional. It must be a constant thread that weaves through every interaction. When respect is present, it creates an environment where love can flourish. A good man who feels respected is more likely to pour out his love, devotion, and energy into the relationship. Respect not only strengthens the bond between partners, but also lays the groundwork for a partnership that can weather challenges and grow stronger over time. To truly love is to respect. And when respect is practiced, it builds a relationship that stands the test of time. And who is practiced, it builds a relationship that stands the test of time. Comparison is a silent but powerful force that can undermine even the strongest relationships. It often begins subtly, creeping into our thoughts as we observe others, other couples, other lives, or even past relationships and measure them against what we have. Over time, this habit of comparison can create dissatisfaction, resentment, and a distorted view of the person we are with, even if they are a good and loving partner. At its core, comparison shifts focus away from gratitude and onto perceived deficiencies. It causes us to see what we think is missing rather than appreciating what is present. For example, a woman might compare her partner to someone else's spouse who appears more financially successful, more romantic, or more attentive. This comparison creates an unrealistic expectation, as it often ignores the complexities in every person and every relationship. One of the greatest dangers of comparison is that it breeds discontentment. When a woman compares her partner to an ideal, whether it's an ideal from movies, social media, or even her own imagination, she sets a standard that no real person can meet. This can lead to feelings of disappointment or frustration. Even if her partner is doing his best to love and support her, a good man, no matter how devoted, may feel inadequate or unappreciated in the face of constant comparisons, which can create distance and strain in the relationship. Comparison also diminishes individuality and uniqueness. Every person brings their own strengths, weaknesses, and qualities to a relationship. When a woman compares her partner to someone else, she risks overlooking his unique traits and contributions. Instead of celebrating who he is, she may focus on who he is not, which can erode his confidence and sense of worth. Chinese philosopher Chengdu wrote, "We will all face obstacles unless we refuse to accept ourselves for the invisible unity of the universe." Comparison also diminishes individuality and uniqueness. Instead of celebrating who he is, she may reject his comparative abilities. Over time, this can lead to a breakdown in communication and connection, as he may feel he can never measure up to her expectations. Moreover, comparison can lead to a cycle of insecurity, not only for the partner being compared, but also for the woman herself. Constantly comparing her relationship to others may make her question her own choices, abilities, or worth. She might wonder if she deserves better or if she has somehow settled. This mindset can lead to unnecessary conflict, self-doubt, and even the loss of a good relationship. To break free from the trap of comparison, it's essential to shift perspective. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to comparison. Instead of focusing on what seems to be lacking, a woman can intentionally reflect on her partner's positive qualities and the blessings in their relationship. For instance, a partner might not be as outwardly romantic as someone else, but he may show love through acts of service, loyalty, or quiet support. Recognizing and valuing these contributions helps to foster appreciation and contentment. Another way to combat comparison is to remember that appearances can be deceiving. The seemingly perfect relationships we see in others are often just that, seeming. Social media, for example, tends to showcase highlights rather than realities. Comparing a relationship to a curated image is not only unfair but also deeply misleading. Every couple has challenges, and what looks ideal on the outside may not reflect the truth. However, self-reflection also plays a crucial role in overcoming comparison. A woman must examine why she feels the need to compare and what insecurities or unmet needs may be driving those feelings. Is she seeking validation? Does she feel unfulfilled in certain areas? By addressing these underlying issues, she can focus on personal growth and communication, rather than projecting dissatisfaction onto her partner. Finally, fostering open and honest communication with a partner can help alleviate the pressure of comparison. Sharing feelings and concerns in a constructive way allows both partners to understand each other's needs and work together to strengthen the relationship. Instead of looking outward for validation or ideals, the couple can focus inward, building a partnership that is uniquely their own. In the end, comparison is a thief that steals joy, gratitude, and connection. It blinds us to the blessings before us and creates unnecessary barriers in our relationships. By choosing gratitude, self-awareness, and authenticity, a woman can free herself from the dangers of comparison and nurture a relationship that is grounded in love, respect, and mutual appreciation. When we embrace what we have rather than longing for what we don't, we create space for love to thrive and for our relationships to become everything they were meant to be. 13. Inner healing is a journey toward freedom, restoration, and wholeness. It is the process of addressing the wounds and traumas that often lie beneath the surface, shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without our conscious awareness. For many women, unhealed pain from the past can unknowingly influence their relationships, creating barriers to intimacy and causing them to push away even the most loving and good-hearted partners. To foster healthy relationships, the need for inner healing cannot be overlooked. Unhealed wounds have a way of manifesting in subtle but powerful ways. They may show up as mistrust, defensiveness, or an inability to fully open up to a partner. For instance, a woman who has experienced betrayal in the past may struggle to trust a good man even when he has done nothing to deserve suspicion. Her fear of being hurt again might lead her to question his intentions, seek constant reassurance, or avoid emotional vulnerability altogether. Story 1. A woman trusted to a man from a faraway land with her baby and her experiences of betrayal in the past. Story. While these reactions are understandable, they can create distance and tension in the relationship, making it difficult for love to flourish. Similarly, unresolved pain can lead to patterns of self-sabotage. A woman who feels unworthy of love due to past rejection or criticism might unconsciously push her partner away, testing his commitment or creating unnecessary conflict. These behaviors often stem from a deep-seated belief that she is not deserving of happiness, or that every relationship is destined to fail. Without inner healing, these patterns can become a cycle, repeating themselves in relationship after relationship and leaving a trail of heartbreak and confusion. Kat Kaller. Inner healing begins with acknowledgement. It requires an honest and courageous look at the past, identifying the experiences or relationships that have left emotional scars. This process can be painful, as it often involves revisiting moments of hurt, rejection, or betrayal. However, it is only by bringing these wounds into the light that healing can begin. Ignoring or suppressing them will not make them go away. Instead, they will continue to influence behavior in ways that are often detrimental. Once these wounds are acknowledged, forgiveness becomes a crucial step in the healing process. Forgiveness does not mean condoning wrongdoing or forgetting the pain that was caused. Instead, it is a deliberate choice to release the hold that those experiences have over the heart and mind. Forgiveness frees a woman from the burden of carrying resentment, anger, or bitterness, allowing her to move forward with a lighter spirit. This step often requires grace and patience, both with herself and with those who have caused harm. Seeking support is another vital component of inner healing. This support may come from trusted friends, mentors, counselors, or spiritual guides who can provide wisdom, encouragement, and accountability. Healing is rarely a solitary journey. Having a community or a safe space to process emotions and seek guidance can make the path less daunting. Professional counseling or therapy can also be invaluable, offering tools and techniques to address deep-rooted issues and develop healthier patterns of thinking and behavior. In addition to addressing past wounds, inner healing involves cultivating a sense of self-worth and identity. A woman who knows her value is less likely to allow past pain to define her present or future. She recognizes that she is worthy of love, respect, and kindness, not because of what she has done, but because of who she is. This sense of worth empowers her to set healthy boundaries, communicate openly, and approach relationships with confidence and security. Spiritual practices such as prayer, meditation, or journaling can also play a significant role in inner healing. These practices provide a space for reflection, connection, and renewal, allowing a woman to process her emotions and seek strength from a higher power. They remind her that she is not alone in her journey and that healing is not only possible but also promised to those who seek it earnestly. He remains to me the biggest, strongest, and bravest promise to any woman in the past 30 years. End quote. Inner healing is not a one-time event but an ongoing process. There may be setbacks or moments when old wounds resurface, but each step forward brings greater freedom and peace. As healing takes place, it transforms not only the woman herself, but also her relationships. She becomes more open, trusting, and capable of giving and receiving love. Her past no longer defines her, and she is free to embrace the present and build a future filled with hope and connection. By prioritizing inner healing, a woman can break free from the chains of past pain and step into a life of wholeness and joy. It is a journey worth taking, not just for her own well-being, but also for the sake of the relationship she cherishes. Healing the heart paves the way for love to take root and thrive, creating a foundation for relationships that are strong, enduring, and life-giving. EXXXX XX, EX, EX, XX, X, EX, X. Choosing love over fear is one of the most profound decisions a person can make, especially in relationships. Fear and love are opposing forces, and whichever one we allow to dominate will shape how we engage with others, how we see ourselves, and how we build connections. Fear constrains, isolates, and mistrusts. Love opens, unites, and heals. Love opens, unites, and heals. For a woman seeking to nurture a relationship with a good man, embracing love over fear is essential for creating a foundation of trust, intimacy, and growth. Fear often stems from past experiences. Times when trust was broken, expectations were unmet, or vulnerability was taken advantage of. These moments leave behind scars that can color how we approach new relationships. A woman may enter a partnership carrying the weight of these fears, whether they manifest as a reluctance to trust, an expectation of disappointment, or a constant readiness for rejection. While these fears are natural, they are also limiting, as they prevent the full expression of love and partnership. The first step in choosing love over fear is recognizing the grip that fear has on the heart and mind. Fear often whispers lies that distort reality. He will leave, just like the others did, or you're not enough to be truly loved. These thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies, as the behaviors they inspire, distrust, insecurity, or emotional withdrawal, push partners away rather than drawing them closer. Even recognizing these fear-drugged patterns is crucial to breaking free from their hold. Choosing love requires vulnerability, and vulnerability can feel like a risk. To love deeply is to open oneself to the possibility of hurt. However, it is also the only way to experience the fullness of connection and intimacy. By choosing love, a woman decides to focus on the present moment rather than letting past pain dictate our actions. She acknowledges that while she cannot control the future or erase the past, she can choose to give her best to the relationship she is in now. Number 6, live with integrity. Fear often causes people to build walls, barriers meant to protect the heart from pain. These walls might look like emotional distance, overanalyzing a partner's actions, or avoiding deep conversations. But while walls keep out potential hurt, they also keep out potential love. Choosing love over fear means taking the walls down brick by brick, allowing trust and openness to grow. It is a process that requires courage and self-awareness, but the rewards are immeasurable. Love is not blind. It sees clearly and chooses to hope and trust anyway. This doesn't mean ignoring red flags or being naive about a partner's behavior. Instead, it means giving the benefit of the doubt, seeking understanding, and extending grace. A good man who is met with love rather than fear is more likely to respond with patience, commitment, and effort. He will feel safe to be himself, knowing that he is not being unfairly judged or constantly compared to others. So, another important aspect of choosing love over fear is letting go of control. Fear often drives us to control situations, emotions, or even people in an attempt to avoid pain. But control is an illusion, and striving for it only creates tension and frustration. Love, on the other hand, lets go and trusts. It allows space for growth, individuality, and mutual respect. It accepts that not everything will go as planned, but chooses to remain steady and committed regardless. Love also requires self-love. A woman who chooses love over fear must first love herself enough to believe she is worthy of a healthy, fulfilling relationship. Self-love provides the confidence to approach relationships with authenticity rather than insecurity. It empowers her to set boundaries, communicate openly, and refuse to let fear dictate her choices. A woman who loves herself creates an environment where love can thrive, because she is not seeking validation, but rather sharing from a place of fullness. She fills the cup with joy, which constrains the cup. Ultimately, love is a choice, a daily decision to act in ways that foster connection, trust, and intimacy. It is choosing to listen rather than assume, to forgive rather than hold grudges, and to give rather than withhold. It is choosing to believe in the goodness of a partner even when fear tempts us to doubt. Choosing love over fear is not always easy, but it is always worth it. When a woman chooses love, she creates a space for her relationship to grow and flourish. A good man who is met with love will feel inspired to give his best, and together they can build a partnership that is resilient, joyful, and enduring. Love overcomes fear, and when love leads the way, it transforms not only relationships but also the hearts of those who choose it.